Hello, and welcome back to African Metaphysical Center for Spiritual Healing, Body, Mind, and Spirit Development. I'm your host, Kufu Amunra, your metaphysical practitioner, Reiki master, and Qigong instructor. Today's topic is understanding the term God. Now, before I begin, I want you to understand this. The African people are millions of years old, and this has been scientifically proven by DNA analysis from some of the oldest bones that have ever been found. So when I begin to tell you about the term God, I want you to understand this information that I just stated. And notice the time periods. It will be up to you after I finish giving you the details of this term if you still hold it so close to your heart. You may notice from my past videos, I never use the word God. You hear me saying things like, words like source, the creators, higher mind, I am, and the creator within. And the reason for this is, these are some of the oldest terms I've found that was used in ancient times. Remember, words and what we project by saying them is very important. And as always, I expect you to do your own research. So let's begin. The term God has a rich and complex history, particularly in its linguistic and cultural evolution. Its earliest uses can be traced back to the Germanic languages, particularly in the 6th century, where the word began to take on a more defined theological significance. In the Germanic languages, the term God derives from the Proto-Germanic word Gudan, G-U-D-A-N, which is believed to have been used to stand for a deity or divine being. During the 6th century, as the German tribes were converting to Christianity, the word began to be associated more closely with the Christian understanding of the singular monotheistic God. This transition was significant as it marked a shift from polytheistic beliefs common among the German peoples to the monotheism of Christianity. The German tribes had their own pantheon of gods, such as Wodan, or Wodin, which is Odin, and Thor. However, as they encountered Christian missionaries, these tribes began to adopt and adapt the concept of a singular God. The use of God in this context not only facilitated the spread of Christianity, but also helped to bridge cultural and linguistic gaps between the pagan. I want to define that word for a moment, pagan. Pagan, the definition of pagan is a person holding religious beliefs other than those of the main or recognized religion. So if I'm Islam, if I'm a believer in Islam and you believe in Christian, I say your religion is pagan and you say mine is pagan. So pagan is not a bad word like most people think, okay? The integration of the term God into biblical texts occurred during the translation, here we go, of the Bible into vernacular languages. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, the need for the scriptures to be accessible to the lay population became increasingly important. In the 8th and 9th century, translations, writings, began to emerge in various languages, including Old High German. The Latin Bible, known as the Vulgate, was the standard text used by the church. But as German tribes embraced Christianity, they sought translations that resonated with their cultural identity. Now, wait a minute. Weren't they the people who started the Holocaust and racism among themselves? I digress. In these translations, the term God became a familiar and authoritative designation for the divine, aligning with the growing understanding of Christian theology. The term's early use in Germanic texts established a framework for its later incorporation into English and other languages. The Old English God, which evolved from the Germanic roots, became the standard term for the Christian God in English translation of the Bible, including the influential King James Version. Wait a minute, again. I thought the Bible, based on your talkings and discussions, was the word directly from the Creator himself or themselves. It sounded like to me the term God was put in by man. So ask yourself, what else was put in the text? In conclusion, the term God illustrates the dynamic interplay between language, culture, and religion. Its journey from the Germanic tribes in the 6th century to its place in biblical texts reflects not only the historical evolution of language, but also the profound impact of religious transformation in Europe. As we study this term, we gain insight into how language shapes our understanding of the divine and how cultural context can influence theological concepts over time. So now, knowing this information and knowing how powerful words are when used, especially in something like prayers and affirmations, do you think that the term has any power when it was only used around 2016 years ago? And it was because of culture? Remember, when I told you in the beginning, millions of years old, 2000. You get the picture here. All right. So, until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep expanding your understanding of the world and beyond. Ancient knowledge is still out there. Seek the truth. Ashe, ashe, ashe.